Patrick Walters here. What I'm gonna give y'all today, see it's getting a little muggy out here. It's April. I'm giving y'all my top 3 spawning baits / techniques for the springtime for catching fish that are pulling up to spawn. You know, it's April, the fish are pulling up. We've got some post spawn actually here right now, but a lot of fish are pulling up to get on the bed. It's a full moon. There's 3 techniques that I like to employ. It's gonna be a straight up Texas rig. A lighter Texas rig. I'm gonna throw this in heavy cover. Like if I'm gonna catch one off of the bed, this is the bait that I'm gonna try. This is a Zoom Speed Craw, green pumpkin, 4/0 flip-in hook. This is a 3/16. I'll use a 3/16 or a 1/4 ounce tungsten, light, 20-pound fluorocarbon. This is the bait I prefer to catch them on because, hey, big hook, winch those fish in, you don't lose them, stabs them, you can get those fish to the boat quickly, and you get a lot of bites. You know, I like going a lighter weight during the springtime. That way you can plank it around, you can bed fish with it really easy, and you're not using too heavy. You know, during the pre-spawn, I'll go a little bit heavier. I'll use more of a jig to get that reaction bite, but during the spawn, I switch to the Texas rig. Now that's what I want to catch them on if I can, but that's once I'm in the spawning area and I know there's fish on bed. Like if I'm picking off these little trees or something, I'm going to use the Texas rig. And probably my other favorite, I've caught a lot of fish on this, is just the standard wacky worm. This is a Zoom Fluke Stick. I rig it weightless. I don't Neko rig it. Pre-spawn I'll use a little bit of weight in there, but this time of the year it's completely weightless. That's a green pumpkin fluke stick. I bite the tail off. A number 1 VMC Neko hook, 12-pound fluorocarbon leader to a 10-pound Suffix 832 braid. I use the 10-pound. You are fishing in some gnarly stuff sometimes, but it helps you with distance. I want to be able to make a real long cast to those cypress trees, to that cover, and stay way back off those fish. This is what I'm going to employ majority of the time. This is what I catch. I'd say majority of my spawning fish from March to May on is just a straight up weightless wacky worm. It catches more fish anywhere in the country. I don't care if you're in Minnesota, California, South Carolina, Florida, Texas. That right there is how you win tournaments. It's how you catch limits, how you catch big fish, and this is what I'm going to employ. It's if I know there's a big one on the bed, I'll find her and I'll leave her and I'll make a long cast to her. I'll probably throw this first. I'll try to catch her on the Texas rig once I've seen her, and also if I'm just covering water, moving really quick, you can just make long cast, quick cast. I'll fish it really fast. Is the Zoom Fluke Stick as a wacky worm. That's what I catch majority of my fish on. And then the third technique, it's kind of not really a bait. It's something to cover water with. I'll have my light Texas rig for bed fishing, my wacky worm for covering water, picking targets apart, and then my technique is a bait to cover water with. It may be, this is a Z-Man chatterbait. I throw a chatterbait a bunch in the springtime. This is a great bait, catches a lot of fish. It's going to be, say, a chatterbait, a spinnerbait, catches a lot of fish this time of year as well. It may be, if you're on, like I say, a clear body of water, if you're fishing around docks, it's going to be a swimbait. You know, a bigger swimbait like a mag draft, anything like that, a big swimbait. What you're doing is you want to find your bait that you have the most confidence in, that you can cover water with. Something that you're like, man, I love covering water with this. Something you can move fast with, and once you're fishing a big creek or something, you get a couple bites, you know the fish are in that area, you can then slow down and employ the wacky worm and the Texas rig. And a lot of times too, like down here, I'll throw a buzzbait. I mean, we're fishing shallow water. There's some fish starting to guard fry. You can cover a lot of water with this, and you can find where the fish are at in the pockets. But I'd say the bladed jig and like a spinnerbait are hard to beat springtime. Once those fish get on the bed, they're going to start getting off of these baits. But pre-spawn to the spawn, these are the baits that you want to use to cover water. And then when the spawn hits heavy, I'm going to employ the Texas rig and the wacky worm. And that's my top 3 for spawning.